Thank you for listening to the Flying High Club podcast in association with the World Aviation Festival 2024 in Amsterdam. We've been delighted to be able to bring you this, and it wouldn't have been possible without our sponsors, Flyware. Flyware are experts in aviation and travel space, providing tech outsourcing services focused on increasing revenue and making your operations more efficient. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to bring you what we are bringing you today. And more importantly, what we need you to do is, if you want to find out more about Flyware, please check the caption below for more details. Thank you for subscribing and keep following us. Keep flying high. Welcome everyone to the Flying High Club podcast, brought to you in association with Flyware Labs, and we're really actually honored that our sponsors for the World Aviation Festival are actually here with us today, and actually we're going to learn a bit more about them and their owner and managing director. So before we do that, like I said, we're here wrapping up on the final day of World Aviation Festival Amsterdam 2024. It's been an incredible event and we've had some incredible guests. So we're really delighted to invite Charly Neuman along. Charly, thank you very much for coming along. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for the invitation and happy to be here.
Perfect. So look, first of all, I want to start with you. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself? Charly, where have you come from? How have you entered this industry?
So I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Like you said, I'm the founder and CEO of Flyware Labs. I'll tell you more about it.
Yeah.
I created the company about 3 years ago, and my background is a mixture of software engineering and aviation expertise.
Yeah.
I have a long way being related to aviation in a way since a little kid.
Yeah.
So that's high level.
Yeah, perfect. So, like I said, I think we're going to focus a lot on the technology, and actually the World Aviation Festival has been a great platform to demonstrate that. We've got so many startups here, so much innovation happening within the technology space when it comes to aviation, and something that's very much needed, and I think we'll get on to that need and some of the frustrations that we do see in the industry and where we need to move. So before I get to that, in terms of places like the World Aviation Festival, why do you think they're so important for our industry?
Yeah, I think, well, obviously I'm here because I think this is a great festival. There are many festivals around, but this one is probably the biggest. You have a chance to meet people from all over the world. And for some people that are not actually working in an airline, it's important to keep up and catch up with the latest. There is a lot going on. I've been an airline CIO myself in the past, so when I was working at the airline, of course it was easier to be on top of things about the latest. But when you're around doing a lot of other things like what I'm doing with Flyware, these type of festivals are important because every year the industry is focusing on different things, different challenges. So festivals or conventions are very important for that sense.
And in terms of that, what you've seen, what are the kind of up-and-coming products or innovations that have caught your eye while you've been here?
I think, well, everybody's talking about AI. I'm not going to say anything about it because we've been doing AI for years and years. Now it's kind of a buzzword. But I see a lot going on related to revenue. There are a lot of companies, of course, they use technology tools like AI or UX and data science. They're using a lot of those things to bring in new products. But I see a very highly competition on that area on revenue. You'll see a lot of companies doing a lot of things and related to revenue and optimization, so efficiency. Aviation is a very tough industry in terms of margins, so I see a lot of more focus on
if anything
revenue.
You can do to optimize that, then I'm sure the industry will be all ears.
Because you can be more efficient on the operation side. There's always room to improve, but I think that there's more room for improvement on the revenue side, and a lot of companies are focusing on that.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's really good insight, and I'm sure a lot of people share that with you as well. So, talk to me about Flyware Labs. Like, let's start from who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into how did this all start.
Yeah. So, talking more about my aviation experience, I had the privilege to be one of the founding members of the first low-cost carrier in Argentina,
Okay.
which was a big thing. I mean, I've been working with companies in the aviation sector in the past, on the travel industry, but of course, being on an actual airline and building an airline from scratch was a huge experience. And after 3 years, of course, we were successful. Now it's the second biggest airline, still a small airline, but has a promising future.
Yeah.
We've done great things, disruptive things, because it was a new market for low-cost carriers. And of course, we made a lot of mistakes, but we learned fast. And I created Flyware because me and my team, we learned a lot about those mistakes. And I think there is a lot we can bring into airlines, legacy, low cost, new airlines, startups, old airlines. There are a lot of mistakes and lessons learned that we can bring into.
So let's get into that. What
airlines.
type of mistakes are we talking about that you were learning from? Because actually one of the themes we've had on the podcast series this week has actually been about making sure you learn from those mistakes, making sure that you take those lessons learned. A lot of the senior people like yourself coming along and telling us that it's okay to make mistakes, but you got to learn from them. So clearly you learned enough that you actually wanted to go out and use that as a product and go out and make solutions for the airline industry. So let's talk about those mistakes. What is it that you're looking to fix in the industry?
Yeah, I got two important things. I mean, of course, there are a million mistakes you make. It will be hard to go into each of those, but one of the things is that when we were creating the airline and the airline was not flying, we were able to focus on very important things. When the operation starts, you have to focus on urgent stuff. And you know what's important, but at the end of the day, you only have a few hours a day to focus on the important stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where Flyware comes.
Okay.
I mean, we bring in value, experience, and we can also help our clients and partners think about the important stuff, because as an airline, again, you got an operation to take care of, and you have urgencies. And sometimes it's hard to keep track and focus on the important stuff. So we think with you, we know the industry, and we can help you, keep pushing on this important stuff. So one of the things that we've done wrong, and I'm sure a lot of airlines is doing wrong, is like focusing too much on urgent stuff and trying to do everything themselves, the urgent, the important, everything. It's like having partners thinking with you is like something very important. And
prioritization is difficult, isn't it? I mean, I come from operations, so
exactly.
You understand the need. Even as from operations, you're like, I need to get this aircraft away. I know how important OTP is. I need to make sure it's done safely. But then as you grow in the business, you understand, well, it's also about the aircraft utilization, where those aircraft are going, how you're planning those aircraft. And that can become, like you said, a whole thought process in itself. And in the background, you've got tech that is legacy, or actually you've got to innovate, update your systems, you've got to update your processes, but you kind of never get around to doing it.
Exactly. You cannot be great at everything. I mean, as an airline, you got to be efficient about taking passengers from A to B or A to B to C, and at the best and more optimized price, right? That's your goal. You cannot be great at everything like innovation or AI or a lot of other things that maybe,
So you've been through that with the founding of the airline, how receptive are you finding, for example, the other airlines that you're talking to now? You're in this space, not just as you, because it might, the vendor might not fit. That's understandable.
Yeah.
But actually, the concept of actually, do you know what? We need help.
Yeah.
Are you finding that the airlines are finally starting to open up and understand that?
Yeah, that's a great question because, like you say, some airlines prefer doing things in-house. Some airlines are open to, working with partners on this. It's more of a culture thing. I've been an airline myself.
Yes.
And at some point, I thought, I'll build my own team and do things. But at some point, you really need help. Just because, like I said before, when urgent things come, you need to change your focus, and you may miss track on some of the important things that at the mid-term or long-term it will make a difference on the airline, and at the end you're missing your roadmap initiatives. It's a matter of culture, maturity of the airline, mindset as well. Low-cost carriers are more open to using external partners. Maybe legacy.
You took the words out of my mouth. Yes.
Yeah. So exactly.
Okay. So let's talk practically. I mean, we've had CEOs from airlines on the show this week. So if I'm a low-cost carrier developing my business currently right now, how can Flyware help me? What are the ways that you could see and identify? Of course, it would be obviously tailored to whichever business you're working with. But what kind of products and offerings and services would you be able to support?
So again, about our services, what we do is we have dedicated teams working for our clients. We have entire teams, so we also have specific engineers, very skilled at some technical expertise about something very specific, but they all have this aviation background. So we work in these two different ways. And generally speaking, of course, we have experience around IBEs, PSS, which is one of the things we get more questions about because there is a lot of innovation there. But we also do things like or features around loyalty, payment, gateways. We're doing things on the operation side like onboard retail or airside, traffic systems. We do a lot of things, but where we can make a difference is, how competitive this market is. So if as an airline you are using existing products for everything, especially on the user experience side, which will be like a great example. It's very different. It's very difficult to make a difference or differentiate from your competitors because this is a highly competitive industry. So innovation and technology is, for sure, I'm convinced this is the key to make a difference, and of course be more efficient, precise about what you want to communicate, because at the end it's not only about pricing. There is a lot you can do to make a difference or be different about your competitors, and through technology and innovation you can do that.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the next, we're almost on that 2.0 when it comes to the aviation industry, and it's going to be driven by tech and innovation. And I think when I'm listening to what you're saying there is, one of the key concerns I always have is with tech startups coming into the industry is that end product in terms of understanding the business. Very sharp, bright-minded individuals who can probably see a problem from the outside, but actually understanding the user stories within the aviation industry. And it sounds like your guys come with that, which is quite unique, and I think will probably stand you in very good stead because they come with aviation background. They know the questions to ask as well because they might not always understand the whole story, but they've got a grasp of it because they come from the industry.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. We don't need our partners or clients to teach us what a PNRS is, what SSIM
Yes.
is, how fair bases work.
Yeah.
All that we already know that, and we make sure that our guys knows that. Of course, they could be doing different things. For an airline, if it's an operation, we will be focusing more on that side.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have this know-how and we have field experience.
Yeah.
It's not that we learned by working with airline companies. We've been in an airline. Not only me, we have other folks who come from the airline space.
Yes.
So we have the field experience,
Yeah.
which is something unique.
Yeah.
And we also focus on aviation only. We don't care about
You don't delve in other places,
other
yeah.
industry, and in that way we are unique because
Yeah.
I haven't seen any other company here doing the same thing.
Okay. Are you able to share any exciting plans that Flyware Labs has in the pipeline right now?
Yeah.
Anywhere potentially you're working with or products that you're launching soon?
Yeah, thanks for asking. One of the things I'm introducing in this festival are the labs. So we thought about, okay, we have all this know-how and experience. How do we show we are actually structuring that know-how in a proper way? So we created 4 labs. Each of them has a labs manager, and they are focused on what we think are the 4 main areas of expertise that an airline might be focusing on, which is IBE, PSS, operations, and revenue management. So we have all our engineers are somehow related to one of these labs.
Yeah.
And we don't only use the labs to train our people or new people, but we also do a lot of initiatives around workshops. We're going to be doing webinars, and we're going to be doing events and activities related to each of these specific labs.
Okay.
So that's one of the things we recently launched, and again, it's not something to sell. It's something to show and structure the know-how.
But it shows you're heavily invested, Charlie, doesn't it? It shows that actually this isn't just about selling a product or
Exactly.
selling the resources that you have, the expertise. Actually, you're looking to shape that. You're looking to bring people on the journey and the education in this space as well. Because, like you said, you're willing to give that back as well. The expertise you have, you're sharing as well, which is fantastic. And
Exactly.
we'll love to hear more about that once the lab's up and running as well, and hopefully even come and have a look and get our people involved as well. I'm sure our viewers would love to get an insight into how these are being run and the kind of things your team are working on and sharing with the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for asking, because we want also airlines and companies. They don't need to be our clients, but we want to do things that could be a win-win, not only for us, but also for other companies, like I said before, like doing workshops or doing prototypes together, see if new ideas come up. And again, we're not looking to make sales on it, but again, raising new ideas or looking for innovation where you think that everything has already been invented.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's some great knowledge about Flyware Labs. I want to ask you now about yourself, because again, I think I've already got the answer to the question I was going to ask about your proudest moment when you talk about founding an airline. I'm probably right in that. But that tech background you've always had, how do you think, in terms of getting here, what's been the best piece of advice you've been given along the way?
Great question. Well, one of the things I liked about this industry, of course, I worked at other industries in the past, but what I found in aviation is passion. So I know it might sound obvious, and you hear that a lot, but if you follow your passion, your outcome will be the optimum, or the highest you can deliver, and it's not only for career perspective or professional perspective,
Yeah.
but also about everything you do in your life. When there's passion, you'll deliver the best of you.
Yeah.
So again, that's what I found in aviation. Of course, we could be doing. I've done, like, I don't know, fintech, for instance, in the past.
Yes.
I know there is a lot of money there, or oil,
Yeah.
you know, great margins and all that. But I haven't seen great passion about,
Yeah.
you know, selling insurance or credits and all that. I'm not criticizing anybody. It's just my opinion about passion, and one of the things, some of the things I learned about.
No, absolutely.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, and that's been the theme of everyone that's come along, is talking about that passion. And I think you're absolutely right. I think you feel it in the energy. Everyone's got a story of why, because everyone maybe has been an end user. They've gone on a plane, or they've got an early aviation memory, and
exactly.
It's something that sticks with them. Like you said, it's much more fun than selling insurance, as Charlie said. Nothing against the insurers. We need them as well. You need to be safe.
Yeah. I've been. My dad is a former Air Force officer, so I've been around aircraft. I mean, not passenger transportation, but around aircraft, planes. I lived in military neighborhoods and all that. So I keep this since a little kid, and I realized once I started working with some travel and airline companies, like, you know, this is it. And when I had a chance to be a founding member at an airline, I said I have
to go and do it.
I have to give it a shot.
Yeah, why not?
So yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot. We talk about passions required. What are the other key skills you believe that are required in the aviation industry to be successful?
Of course, you know, I'm going to be focusing on technology, because, you know, it's everywhere. I'm going to say much about it because it's obvious. But talking about the issues that you make, it's very important to learn fast, right? And fail fast and learn fast.
Yeah.
We hear that a lot, but it's what really happens, especially when it comes to like a startup or something, something new that has not been tested. It's new grounds. It's like learning fast is like super important, and it's not for everyone. I mean, it's like you gotta be open to failure. It could be frustrating, but at the end, if you can manage to learn from that, you could be like super positive. And I say that a lot to entrepreneurs and independent professionals.
Well, look, it definitely sounds like you're understanding your market and the businesses that you're working with, and I think in terms of that, in terms of providing a solution, I think you're halfway there. So we really wish you the very best with what you're doing, and so the way that you're looking to give back as well. I think that's amazing, and those labs sound super exciting as well. So we look forward in keeping a close eye on Flyware Labs. So look, we're coming to the end of the podcast. We normally end with a quick fire round. Try and get to know a bit more about you. So 1 or 2 answers, word answers, please, and we'll try and get through these as quick as we can. Does that sound?
So I like to talk a lot about music, because I'm a musician myself.
So you've already answered. I'll start with that one first. Tell us an interesting fact about you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you are.
So there you go.
So it connect a lot with passion again. I'm lucky to be working and doing some things that I have passion about. And music is a great deal for me. Brilliant. I do gigs. I play with a couple of bands.
Nice.
Play the bass guitar, electric guitar. I like that a lot. I dedicate a lot of time to that. So
there you go.
Of course, that's something I bring since I'm a kid as well. So.
Yeah, and it's another outlet, right? Aviation can be all-consuming, so actually having an outlet like that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. In fact, when I was at the airline, I was, I proposed this idea about plane at 10,000 feet. You
Yeah.
know, but it was too disruptive.
I can imagine.
for
Yeah.
for a new
A
airline.
concert on the aircraft.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Favorite aircraft type?
Yeah, Boeing, but I don't have like
A particular favorite?
a good justification. So I just like Boeing because probably it's been the aircraft I used the most.
Okay, fair enough.
And
Favorite airport?
Great question. Well, I like the new Ezeiza airport in Buenos
Okay,
Aires.
yeah.
They made a lot of
Improvements.
Yeah. They improved the whole passenger area, the terminals. Looks great. If you haven't been,
Yeah.
I recommend.
I will have to check that one out.
Not
I
only the
haven't-
airport, but also
Yeah.
Buenos Aires is a great place. to go.
Yeah. South America is on my list for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of list, dream destination you haven't visited yet?
Yeah. Probably some of the cities in Central Europe, Prague, Belgrade. I haven't been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
It's very close from here, and
Yeah.
never been.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that with Europe. I always feel it's so close, I'll do it later. You don't end up doing it, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got the same thing, but because of being in the airline, I was able to sightsee a lot of things in Latin America.
Well, one of the benefits of working in the airline, as we always say, is the ability to travel. So it's one of the reasons we encourage people to kind of join us as well.
The problem is that the airline keeps you so busy that at the end you don't have the chance to go everywhere.
Exactly. Window or aisle?
I'm sorry?
Window or aisle seat?
Great question. No, window.
Window.
For
Chicken
sure.
or beef?
Beef.
Beef.
Argentinian beef.
Yeah, well, yes, I don't disagree with you there. One item you can't travel without? Headphones.
Earbuds.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, earbuds. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Things that inspire you most about the industry?
Things that, sorry.
Things that inspire you, make you feel like this is an incredible industry. What are those things?
Yeah, I have to stick to the passion.
Yeah.
And I've seen it not only with the technology. I've seen, TCPs, crew members.
Yes.
They cannot stop flying.
Yeah.
It's a tough
Yes.
job. They don't have schedules.
Yeah.
And they keep doing it. So.
Okay.
There's something about it.
The future of aviation: electric planes or supersonic planes?
Yeah. I'll go with. There are two choices, right?
Yeah.
I can think of other options, but I think supersonic have better chances. I'm not sure how the electric vehicles is going to work.
Okay.
For
A dream
aviation.
person you'd love to sit on a long haul flight with?
Yeah, probably. Well, I have two options.
Yeah, we'll have both.
An important politician.
Yes.
Making like real-time decisions. Someone who is like doing big things for people, and or a musician. I don't know, Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, we'll end there. Thank you very much, Charlie. I really appreciate the time you taking it out at this festival, from all the other things that you're doing to come along and talk to us. We really wish you the best with Flyware. I hope you've had some successful meetings here and some leads, and hopefully now, like you said, like you've announced the labs as well. We look forward to those being developed and showcasing those as well. And we thank you again for coming along. I hope everyone enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you keep hitting those like and subscribe buttons, and we get great guests on like Charlie in the future as well. So thank you very much to Flyware Labs, and Charlie, take care.
Thank you. This has been great.
Thank you.
Thank you.